at keyword KSCB, or Keep Sarasota County Beautiful. A Sarasota boy has had plenty of volunteers support him and his family. As Jyl Soboleski tells us, he suffers from a rare neurological disease.
But right now, he's a typical 4-year-old. You would never know anything was wrong other than being a little off balance. You wouldn't know anything's wrong. And that in itself is challenging, because knowing what is going to happen in the future, now you look at him and say, this is just an ordinary little boy. You know, how can this happen in the future? So,
last week, Nicholas DeZembo met me on Main Street at Lakewood Ranch, hours before a fundraiser for the Wobbly Feet Foundation. This evening, he plays with his son, unable to imagine anything less than a happy, healthy future for Connor.
We talk with other parents and other families, and they, you know, that's the one thing we hear is just, you know, they look at their little girl or little boy and say, you know, thank goodness, you know, it really does put it in perspective.
But like any little boy, Connor plays sports, loves Spider-Man. He really doesn't know any different. With that kind of spirit and energy, his parents are far from willing to give up. So Nick and his wife Samantha started the Wobbly Feet Foundation when Connor was diagnosed with the disease.
It is considered a genetic disease, and it's considered to have multi-system. So it affects a child's immune system, and also it's considered a progressive neurodegenerative disease.
The DeZembos became worried when Connor had trouble fighting one cold after the next. Then every so often, he had a difficult time walking. Most
kids are usually in a wheelchair by the age of 10 or have difficulty walking, and because of that, you know, living past the third decade is very rare. So you can imagine, as parents, you never want to really talk about that or bring that up, but you know, that kind of led to our decision to do whatever we can to find a cure and save our son.
Connor receives some physical and speech therapy, but right now there is no drug, and therapy alone won't stop the disease from progressing. It
has been challenging. You know, my wife and I still, you know, make sure that we hug and kiss each other before we go to bed at night.
But funding for a rare disease isn't always easy to find. Nick tells me it affects only about 500 children, but research for AT could positively impact research for other diseases.
Cancer, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's. However, AT is also a neurodegenerative disease, just like those three that I mentioned. And we want to just kind of get out there that any research or any developments that happen with AT research could lead to a breakthrough in these other neurodegenerative diseases.
Money raised for the Wobbly Feet Foundation will also go towards helping other families affected by the disease.
That's our inspiration. You know, I tell people, you know, how do you deal with this day in and day out, and you truly never can deal with it. You know, you see those eyes every morning. That's our inspiration to move on, and you see those eyes at night before he goes to bed, and you know, that's our inspiration there as well. So you know, every morning, every evening, that's how we keep going, and you know, that's what keeps us going, and we have to do whatever we can, and you know, we have to do whatever we can to save his life. You know, as a typical parent, you always think about, you know, hey, is my kid going to play baseball? Is he going to play football? However, you know, when we found out about that diagnosis, that focus shifted to saving our son's life.
For Sarasota County Weekly, I'm Jyl Soboleski.
If you'd like to help the cause, log on to wobblyfeet.org. You've heard of America's Got Talent. You probably didn't realize how much talent there is already in Sarasota. Dozens of musicians auditioned for a spot in a contest. We had a chance to go behind the scenes of the tryouts.
Yeah, this is Lulu. She's my ukulele, and I love her.
Sarah Lozier is nervous. Yes. She is one of the performers auditioning to be in a talent show in early October in Sarasota. This local high school junior is about to sing on stage for the first time.
And